Hello, guys, and welcome back to our YouTube channel. This week, we're going to be talking about it's horrors, the theme. Why? Because I want it to be horror. Hopefully, the podcast will be about that. Anyway, so today we're going to be talking about mythology. Why mythology? Because I love mythology, and in honor of St. Patrick's Day on Saturday, I'm going to be talking about some Celtic mythology, and more so about the Fae in the Celtic mythos. So in the Fae, basically they're fairies. If you don't know what Fae means, it's fairies. Like, not your typical, and no, it's not typical like little pixies, like, oh my god, I'm like little magical powers. I mean, there's a lot of those, but there's also a lot of other stuff, which we're going to talk about, the darker stuff, more horror oriented. So first things first, in the Fae world, there are like two different groups. There are the Seanly court. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. Those are the good ones, the ones that don't mind humans or whatever. And you got unseemly court, which is like the ones that would put harm to humans. They're more of the monstrous, evil, if you will, side of the fairy world. So the fairies we're going to talk about four of them. The first one we're going to talk about is the Dullahan. Now, what is a Dullahan, you may ask? The headless horseman. You know, Sleepy Hollow, that's a Dullahan. That's a fairy. Congratulations. Or in some cases a goblin, because that's a thing. So depending on which way you look at it, he's either a fae or a goblin. And then again, goblins are kind of fae too. In some research that I've done, it's weird. I'd count it as a fae. So the Dullahan, he's a headless horseman or a coachman, and he pulls a carriage that has a black coffin in it. Being pulled by horses, sometimes headless horses, dun dun dun. And I kind of like the Dullahan. I like the fact that, like Silent Hill, I love that movie, and actually love the TV series. I need to go back and finish it. And of course, anime that's had Dullahans in it as well. But yeah, the Dullahan pull a carriage pulled by horses, sometimes headless, that have a black coffin in it. But another fae that follows them, that have a tendency to go hand in hand, is the Banshee. And yes, the Banshee as in the female spirit that screams and it kills their victims. When in reality, they don't really kill anybody. They're female spirits that foretell someone's death. Like, they come to you, or if you see them, that's not looking good for you on the living part. So, and sometimes the Banshee accompany the Dullahan, and as the Dullahan's dragging the black coffin, the Banshees are wailing like they're at a funeral. Wailing the person who died, or the person who's going to die. And to be perfectly honest, I want that to be my funeral. I want a Dullahan to pull my dead body in a black coffin, surrounded by Banshee just wailing at my funeral. That's what I want, because that's pretty metal. To be perfectly honest. My ancestors would be proud. Also, another fae, if we're going to keep going with this, got two more to go, is the changeling. Now, what the changeling is, it's a fae that is exchanged for a human baby. So, like, you might be minding your own business with little baby Timmy that was just born like 2 days ago, and all of a sudden, in the middle of the night, a fairy could come in like hee and just switch out your baby for a changeling, and you would never even know it. Sometimes the fae return the child that was taken if the parents find out that the child that they got is a changeling, because they're shapeshifters. The changelings are not very, I guess, I don't know if they're, I know in the movies when they're portrayed, they're not very nice, because there was one in A Christmas Horror Story was a changeling, and there was a changeling in it, and he wasn't that nice. So sometimes they're exchanged again if the parents find out that it's a changeling and not their child. So yeah. And then the last one we're going to talk about is, I don't even know how to pronounce it. I'm going to put it up on the screen. Usage, or it's similar to the Kelpie, if you don't know what Kelpie is. A Kelpie is a horse spirit. A horse water spirit. Water spirit takes shape of a horse. And it's basically the same thing as a Kelpie, but the only difference is it kills its victims. Basically, it takes the form of a horse or a man. And if it takes the form of a man when a woman is isolated or out in the woods, the man will go up to the woman, seduce her, and try to drag her try to take her to the nearest body of water. And when he gets to the nearest body of water, he will drown her in said water. And same with the horse. So like if there's a man out in the middle of the woods by his little lonesome, he sees a beautiful horse, and back in the day, I guess they're like, "Oh, I want to ride that horse." So they get on the horse, and this creature will attach itself to it, like slime. I guess it's their mane's like slimy, so they get stuck. So the person gets stuck to the horse or the person, and they run towards the closest body of water, and they drown the person. So yeah, so don't go out in the middle of the woods, and if you find a beautiful horse or a man, don't go to them because you might die. That's not very good. No, it's not. So yeah, that's View of the Fae. It's View of the Dark Unseemly Court. Now, I didn't want to go into too much detail because I can go on for hours about the different Fae and stuff. So if you want more of this type of stuff, just let me know. I can do more videos on mythology. I can go to Greek, which I know much more about. And of course, Egyptian and all that. So yeah, thanks guys. And I'll see y'all Friday because I'm pretty sure I'm going to be on the podcast this week. Okay, thanks. Bye.